Welcome everybody to the review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the final episode. I first want to apologize for missing the last 2 weeks of reviews, but we had several different things that came in the way. But we're here now, and we're going to be talking about it. With me breaking this down is my hetero life mate, Seth. What's going on, man?
What is going on? Yeah, you've never heard that before, Calvin?
You ain't heard that one, apparently.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
I'm doing good. I'm still trying to come down off of the collection video we just saw.
Yeah.
But I'm super stoked to talk about this episode. A lot of great things happened, and I'm waiting for Hot Toys announcements. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
The Raging Man was in the house. What's up, Frankie?
What's up, fellas? Yep, same thing here. That collecting video, that was insane. So you guys need to check that out, and you'll feel totally inadequate. Right?
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, on the MCE channel, we just had that geek show, and there was a huge collection room, dedicated to all kinds of movie memorabilia. So definitely check that out too. I'll leave a link in the description.
I feel like I need Propecia now after watching that.
Propecia. The whole crew's here though. We got the Wise Wizard is with us. What is going on, my man Craig?
Good evening. Glad to be here. Glad we're getting to wrap the season up.
Yeah, man, me too. Because we got to get started on Loki after this one. We got like a week break, and then yeah. Actually, I don't know what we're gonna do next week, but I mean, there's plenty because today we even have more. Mortal Kombat came out, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
we got my brother from another mother's here. What is going on, my man?
What's up, man? That collection room, man. I can't wait to go see it in person. I can't wait to see it in person, and I hope he's nice and give me something or something.
You mean not to the point where you're texting someone for their fig pins, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're the one. I feel like when you were collecting pops, man. But you want to send them my way, go right ahead.
Calvin, you too much, man. Oh, bro. So, again, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be doing more of these reviews. We're going to be doing more reaction videos here on the Movie Nights channel. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the videos that we put out. And we are at the season finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That went pretty quick. 6 episodes.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I loved it. It left me wanting more. I definitely want more. I think six episodes was a little short. I wish they had more time to build things up a little bit better. I'm super stoked about the new suit. I love that suit. That suit is freaking amazing, and I can't wait for Hot Toys to make the announcement for it. And I like how Bucky finally got his resolution. With everything, so he's made peace now with everything, and he's able to move past that. A lot of great things happen. I mean, obviously we're going to go down the line, so I don't want to jump from one part of the show to the next part of the show, and because God forbid we jump around.
Jump around. That's what we do. We jump around, jump up, and get down. What you think, Calvin?
I've liked the show the entire time. I just didn't feel like I was through watching it though. I'm like Seth. I wanted more. I felt Wanda wrapped up. I felt that they wrapped that show up, and I was okay with how it wrapped up. But with this show, and we'll talk specifically about different parts, I'm sure. But did a great job with wrapping it up with the speech at the end and things like that. But there just seemed to be more that I wanted to see in this, and I don't know what that is, but I just wasn't ready for it to end yet. I thought we needed more. 12 episodes. Maybe this should have been the mid-season finale and not the finale.
Yeah, it could have been like the finale of season 1.
Yeah.
All right, Frankie, want to go next?
I didn't like it.
No.
Nope. It just fell flat for me. So
the episode or the series?
So the series. So as a series, it's like, I don't feel like there was anything for the overall picture. Mm-hmm. And then if you think about it, most of the shows, and especially with WandaVision, there was two things going on, right? The story of WandaVision, and then leading up to the bigger picture for the MCU. I don't feel like this led up to anything for the bigger picture of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It just kind of like it fell flat for me in that respect.
I disagree.
Okay.
Sweet fight episode.
Okay, yeah. I absolutely see where he's coming from, and hopefully that kind of ties a lot of the different things we got, our opinions about it. But
yeah,
definitely interested to hear what Craig has to say.
Enjoyed the series. Oh, hello there. Enjoyed the series overall, but the last episode left me flat. And they had good moments, but there was a lot that I think part of it is what Seth and Calvin's just said, in the fact that some of it felt rushed. And
right, exactly.
And we'll get to those scenes specifically whenever we get there, but it felt like you needed at least another half an episode. So there should have been 7 episodes, or do something else to get there. It was ending was a little unsatisfying to me.
Okay,
I can get behind some of the rush scenes. I thought it was a great episode. I enjoyed it a lot. Out of everything that happened, what would you guys say is like what was your like wow moment, if there was a wow moment for you when you watched it?
Series, or for me, there wasn't one.
There wasn't. I guess that's it. That wasn't a wow moment. I thought that, for example, let me just say this. There's a couple of things. Now, visually looking at the movie and its production quality was amazing. Okay,
yes, it was.
They've done
100%.
a great job with that. 100% done a great job with that. But tying it needs more to carry the movie. Like, they started to build these stories to where you cared about so much, but then it just kept chopping it off and not tying it up and making me understand why I cared or why I should care, whether it was dealing with a social issue that was going on or whatever the case may be. Everything seemed to come to just a wall. And then just let's go to the next thing. Whether it be with the relationship with his sister, and the boat and the things that they were doing there, or whether it be Bucky's resolution with the older guy, it's like that was so anticlimactic in terms of how he resolved that issue. So it just seemed unfinished. Like there was so much more to unpack with this series that could have been great, and they tried to tie it all together with Sam's speech. And although I got what he was saying, it just seemed so overly written.
Yep.
If I will, just
Calvin
overly
is the
written
spokesperson.
Yep.
So that was my take. So the entire series as a whole, and the acting and the production quality had so much potential. So I liked it for that, but it just didn't seem to tie it up in a nice little bow. So I say, wow, that was satisfying. I was left feeling unsatisfied with the show. Not that it was bad.
There was a lot of promise in it, but it just didn't deliver.
Exactly. That's how I felt about it.
I totally disagree. I think it was a fantastic show. Yes, I agree with you guys to the point that yes, it left me wanting more, and maybe they could have done a better job at closing some of the storylines. But overall, I loved it. I think it was great. I mean, I don't know how you guys can't say there were wow moments. I mean, freaking Captain America killing somebody and people captured it on camera. That was like a major turning point.
That didn't happen in this
I
episode.
thought we were talking about this episode.
That's what I asked. Were we talking series or episode?
Yeah,
we're talking about this episode.
We missed
We were talking about this episode.
In the episode there was in the episode there was. I mean, at least to me there was wow moments. There was we saw the new suit. I was like, holy crap!
I like that.
That was freaking amazing. That is a huge wow moment. The other wow moment is, now I know me and George talked about this earlier, but I didn't even I mean, I don't know if it's me just because sometimes I'm slow when it comes to picking things up. I had no idea that that Sharon Carter was going to be the power broker. I thought when they introduced Julia Louise Dreyfus's character, I thought she was going to step in and she was going to be
They didn't do a
power
good enough
broker.
job
I'm still
misdirecting
not
it.
convinced that Sharon is the power broken.
Exactly.
I think
No,
she is.
She never
not.
acknowledges it.
Well, no,
she never acknowledges
well,
it.
I think she is.
She's
No, they
accused
did.
of being that.
No,
Right.
no,
She never
no.
acknowledges it, though.
She
No,
never.
I don't think
no,
she is.
No, George, when Batroc, George St. Pierre came in when they were having that meeting in the basement where it was her, the other girl. Batroc acknowledged her as
she acknowledged her as the
power
power broker.
But she didn't say, yes, I am.
But she had already met her. They had met each other that day.
To me, it's one of those like smoke and mirrors. Act the part just to hide the real one.
The way that the girl at least came about talking to her about it, it seemed like they had already met each other. She knew they looked like they recognized each other. So it wasn't like they were just talking over a phone.
I got you.
So I think that she was the power broker, but I think that was telegraphed like over several episodes, just because you saw first when they first introduced Sharon Carter, you know, she's got that painting collection that she has in the earlier thing. Then you see her being picked up by, you know, a driver, right, which seemed kind of suspicious. And I think then another episode, she's like walking through like a barricade of armed guys in over there, which also seemed kind of suspicious. So I felt like there was something more going on with her than what that was.
The only thing I felt where it led up to anything was when when she gets, well, jumping ahead. So at the end, when she gets pardoned.
Yeah.
And then I felt like that might lead up to the armor war. So now she's got access to all this tech, and that might lead to that, you know, something in that series. But other than that, I didn't feel like it led to anything else.
There was something that Kevin Feige said that, and although I don't agree with it when it comes to WandaVision, he said that none of these TV shows are going to take and amount to anything serious. And then the reasoning is because he doesn't want to alienate the people that only go and watch the movies and don't tune into the TV shows. Although after I've seen these 2 TV show series, I don't understand why you wouldn't watch the TV show.
Yeah,
right.
But you understand why you wouldn't try to make them watch it to boost your audience.
He wants it so that people who watch the movies,
can separate the two.
You can step right into the movie and not say anything different. But I mean, I think that when I go to the theater and I see that Vision is back, you know, and that Wanda has kids, I'm gonna have some questions, you know.
See, but that's the thing, though. But the WandaVision show ended. That was it. You couldn't do anything more with that. There was no story to continue on from that, other than from her moving into the Doctor Strange movie. Now with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, that can continue as a show and then possibly go into a movie. Because
I think it could.
I now again, this is just me. Now if they didn't establish Sam as Captain America, then the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I could say, would be a great running TV series, because it's like that buddy cop, you know, that whole buddy cop feel to it, and it could be a good running show. But now that they've established Sam as Captain America, you've got to make it. They're not, you know, Sam and Bucky aren't like mid-level players anymore. You know, they're high tier guys now. So they need to make a Captain America and Winter Soldier movie now. Moving forward,
I heard that they're going to do that. I think is what I heard.
But they can also. But I mean, to me, I'd rather see them continue it on as a TV show than a movie, because I don't think there's been a villain that's been big enough established other than Zemo. If you think about it, and what Zemo's in the what do they
raft.
call it? The raft. He's in the prison right now under massive lockdown, so he ain't getting out anytime soon.
I love that actor, man. I got a new appreciation for Zemo.
That dude's pretty
this.
good.
Yeah.
He did really good.
Yeah, I like that end there when they killed. But then I didn't recognize the butler at
first.
That
was his butler.
Yeah, so I was like, who is this? And then I see Zemo. And I was like, oh, and then he's like turns to the camera, and kind of smiles. So I was like, oh, this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
But I mean, I again, I mean,
Calvin, you were going to say something?
There is a couple of things in it that I still stick to what I said. Is like, for example, I was let down by Isaiah Bradley's part in this, because introducing him, I thought they would flesh out his character or give us some scenes, some flashbacks, something to make us care more about his struggle or what he went through as the original person, and it didn't do that for me. And I didn't understand why they just introduced so many of these subplots and none of them seemed to have been fleshed out. I was looking for more story, and I think maybe Seth, you love the action and a lot of that, and I did too. But I just was looking for more.
Well, I think
story.
Well, I think to go back what you actually just said about the story with Isaiah, I think they wanted to introduce him because I think they might build into something with his grandson. Because remember, there's a young Avengers thing, and his grandson does take the mantle, I guess, of as kind of like a Captain America type character. So that could have been the whole thing with Isaiah. You know, maybe they just wanted to give him a little bit of a brief introduction, a little backstory, and then have the grandson show up periodically so they can kind of give people the idea that, hey, you know, there's the possibility that they may be able to build on like a Young Avengers thing. But
Calvin's talking about the final scene, and if they had set up Isaiah's struggle, I mean, it's just like he's watching TV and all of a sudden now he's accepting Sam. He's nodding like approval or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like there was no arc whatsoever. It was just like on again, off again.
Get the hell out of my living room. And now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good job, boy. You know, and it just did not make any. There was no arc. That end scene was great, but it could have been so much greater if it had been set up properly. You know, there's a lot of missed opportunities.
I think like we said in that other episode. Go ahead, Calvin.
Yeah, no, I say that's what I was agreeing with Craig.
Yeah, so like when we talked about that last episode when they first introduced Isaiah, you know, it's bringing up the social issues, but it did it in a very creative way, and you got your point across. And this last episode, it just felt like one of those. If you just listen to the message, just take it as it is, it's great, but it felt kind of crammed, as opposed to just flowing with what was going on.
Okay.
The speech.
Yeah, the whole speech.
That was a good speech.
Yeah.
I thought
the words were great.
Yeah.
Yes. The words were great. I mean, like I said, if
great.
you listen to what's being said, it's great, but it felt like it was just crammed in there to get the point across.
Right.
So if we go back to the episode before this episode, leading into this, another part of that was he did the speech that he gave Sam gave Bucky when he was practicing with the shield and he finally accepted that he was going to be Captain
America. That was excellent.
Now,
Yeah,
that was good.
That
I felt and I think they set it up to where the characters had got their flow from the whole banter back and forth, because I was worried if they keep putting this up that way that it'll get old, and they developed that and matured that relationship, and it seemed like Sam had earned the right to say what he had said to Bucky, and Bucky had gotten to a place where he was open enough to accept that. You know, with the things that had happened with what's her name from Wakanda when he delivered the guy, what's his name, to her, Zemo to her, and then it just seemed like I could see the evolution of his character open up and become more accepting of himself, the reality of what had happened, and the speech that Sam gave him just seemed to fit the moment. Where the speech that Sam gave at the end of this show seemed to try to put everything from season 1 into this one thing, and we hadn't actually experienced it the way that the speech was.
Right.
Yep.
100%. I actually went back and watched. I was like, okay, this is Sam's Chris Evans moment. And I was like, okay, why is this falling flat? And I wonder if a little bit of it, if you watch the various ones in game, they're standing on the platform before they're about to do the time travel thing or whatever.
Yes.
They film it in a roundabout type way. All right. And they're showing, they did this in this scene, but it was a weak version of it.
Well, because there weren't any superheroes other around. It was just senators and just regular people.
It still ties you into the moment. They're coming back in, you know, as Sam's talking to all these, and I think a huge factor in it for me was the music. There was very, very, very little music, and in almost all caps, there's this, you know, rah-rah, the Avengers themes playing.
Yeah, Cap's speeches though are more of like a pep rally speech. Whenever he talks, he's like,
he's building you up, he's getting you psyched.
You know, this guy was more or less giving people you know, a
I'm
lesson.
just trying to tell you why.
Oh,
I thought
lesson.
that
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
fell
But
flat
that's
for me.
but that's the thing, though. He's not trying to be Steve. He's trying to be
I
himself,
understand
and that's why I felt like that speech didn't fall flat. I felt that it was well written. We got the point, and they accepted what he had to say. Which was great, and sometimes these shows they take it too far with the political stuff, but I felt this show had the right amount of it, so it wasn't too overbearing. It wasn't like they were trying to force a certain agenda down your throat. It was
The last speech was political. One thing I did not like at all was Sam saying, "Don't call them terrorists. They just blew up innocent people in a building." So I didn't like that narrative there. That one was like fingernails on the chalkboard to me. But it was definitely political, that last thing. And I thought they had done such an excellent job of staying right on that line, in a way that I was like, man, this is excellent how they're raising these little hot button topics, without
taking a side.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Now, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I mean, it was kind of weird how we were getting the vibe that John Walker was going to be the ultimate bad guy out of this whole thing, and then all of a sudden now there's like redemption for him in a kind of odd way.
True. Very odd way.
Like he went he went into that fight just strictly based on pure vengeance. He wanted to get his revenge, and then he had that aha moment where he saw the armored truck going over the thing.
Gotta make the right decision.
Yeah,
he was the best character.
Well, it was after he
I
looked
think-
at his Martha badge.
Yeah, the Martha badge. Yeah, from but I like that redemption though a little bit. I like that part.
Yeah.
I mean, because he had that choice to make, and he made the right choice finally.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was happy that he had his redemption moment, and it was just kind of funny. It was just kind of funny, like how all of a sudden, like him and Bucky were like kind of like on the same page, and they had this like this odd acceptance of one another, which was kind of funny. Like they're walking afterwards, and like you see like him pat him on the back, and Bucky's like, "Hey man, yeah," it's just like, come on, man.
He
like,
kind of
really?
made fun of him for the Abraham Lincoln speech.
Yeah. It's like they had that aha moment, but it was great though, and watching his reaction to Sam, talk about everything, made him realize that okay, he didn't have to be perfect. He can make mistakes, he can be vulnerable, and I think that's what ultimately kind of just had that redemption moment, for him, which was great. So.
Yeah.
Now, what I did love was like Sam's entrance, seeing the suit for the first time. His fight sequences were freaking great. And my favorite part, I was laughing for a while. I even rewound it just to watch it again. Was when he goes, "You earned this ass whooping."
I love that line.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. The convenience too, though. Like when I'm sitting there watching it, and he's like, "Red Wing, see if anybody has any flight training in this helicopter."
Right.
I'm like, "There's that one." I was like, "Come on, right?"
Just so happens to be at a sheer coincidence.
Yeah, the NSA wants Red Wing.
Yeah.
So another part that I actually liked and I thought was emotionally charged, and I actually got the emotion behind it when he was fighting. What's her name?
Carly.
Yes, when he was fighting her, and he had that moment where all the things that embodies Captain America, I think in that fight he did, because he goes, "Fight me, fight back," and he goes, "I'm not fighting you. I'm not going to do that." And I mean, he went to the brink of saying, "I will go to the end to save you, and I'll even sacrifice myself to save you," and it was believable. It was just really charged. So that was a really intense scene for me.
Mm-hmm.
He missed the line though, man. He when he got back up, he needed to say, "I could do this all day."
Yeah.
He missed that.
Only
I waited,
you
I waited,
can't
I
steal
waited for
that
that at one
completely.
point. Yeah.
You can't steal
But I
that.
think that's back to what Seth said. They're trying to make him his own,
His own.
not,
His own
Yeah,
thing.
his-
I know.
yeah.
I know.
not Chris
Yeah.
too. So I think
I
they
know.
purposely avoided that. But I
Yeah.
felt
Say-
it too.
He could
I
have
say
said
it
a
jokingly.
variation of it though.
Yeah. You know?
Right. Or made a joke out of it. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he could have
Yeah,
gotten
that-
been like he could have gotten up and like, man, he's like, now I know what the hell Steve was saying all the time.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or I hope I don't have to do this all day.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would've been good,
I
though.
hope I don't have to do this all day.
That would have been
But
good.
yeah, that scene for me was really intense and just like that was my probably my favorite scene in this movie was his fight with her because I felt what he was trying to do to win her back.
I love that you keep calling it a movie because to me it felt
Felt
like
like it, yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
it.
I
I
keep
was
saying
thinking that
right?
too.
I keep
Yeah,
saying
but he
that
said a movie.
in this movie.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go
Well,
watch
the
a
production,
movie.
man. The production values are just up there.
Yeah.
It is.
Off the charts. Off the charts.
Well, when you got the mouse's budget, what do you expect?
Yeah.
So I know Carly wasn't necessarily the villain here, and they tried to paint as I thought she did sympathy well. I think that was a miscasting. I did not like her.
For her? In that role?
To me, I didn't like her casting in the role. At times that were intense, she would have this girlish smile on her face. It just didn't, sell. And I didn't buy her motive. And I actually text Frankie today, and I was like, "What were the Flag Smashers about? Ultimately, what was their motive? What was their end game? What were they about? They were they're a vigilante type group. They're protesting something. They're becoming soldiers, super soldiers, and wanting to make more of them. Why? What are they trying to accomplish?
Right.
She said, "I don't want to rule. I don't want an empire." What is she trying to accomplish?
Right. So another to add on to what you're saying, Craig, is when you say miscast, one of the things about her character and her acting in this, I didn't feel she was tormented by it, and
Yes.
her words were saying that she was tormented by it and trying to really do what she felt was right.
Yes,
But it didn't come across as a true conviction for me from her.
correct.
It didn't. It just almost
That's
seemed like
what-
she was. Go ahead.
You said better than what I was going to say. I think last time we talked about this, I said she's not sinister enough. Conviction. That's the word that bugs me in the entire thing. That she just was,
What?
Yeah,
wasn't
I
the
wanted to
purpose-
believe that she was misguided, but I wanted to believe in her misguided,
Right.
path and understand it and be able to empathize with. I don't agree with it, but damn, do I not understand it?
Like Zemo,
That
you
is-
totally get him. His family
Yeah, I
was
get him.
killed. You totally get. He thinks all superheroes, all supervillains, all should be gone. I get that.
What-
you can sympathize.
Right.
Wasn't the Flag Smashers' purpose because they were upset over the relocation? I think that was what the whole deal was. That
No.
they were the people had been snapped. They were gone for 5 years. People had moved into
Their
wherever
homes
they
and all
moved
that
to.
stuff.
Well,
And now this GRC was moving them out.
Well, there was no border. There was no borders. That was
There was no borders, but that
was the
wasn't what
thing.
they. Yeah, but that's not what they were fighting for. What they were fighting for was that that when the people were gone, they moved into these places. They moved into homes, into locations, and then now everybody comes back, and then this government is now forcing them to move out and relocate, and that's what they were fighting about. And the GRC was doing it forcibly.
And I
Right.
kind of,
So I can kind of see that, but then you get into where it's like, okay, they're stealing food. So where does that come into play? They're like in camps and they don't get fed.
I
Some
guess
of the
that's
stuff
the case.
just didn't add up.
But that's what that
They
one
didn't flesh
teacher
it out.
said. They didn't. Yeah, maybe they didn't flesh it out enough. But they think at one point there was one of the episodes I think where Sam, Zemo, and Winter Soldier and Bucky, they go to like one of the encampments, and then they're in there asking about one of the people, and then Sam stumbles upon a teacher, and the teacher says that they make all these promises, but they never follow through with the promises. And I think that's what they were trying to do. So yes, they were promising, yeah, we're going to bring you food, but they're not bringing you food. In this case, he was talking about the teachers that they were supposed to get, and they weren't bringing any teachers. They never followed through with what they said they're going to do. They just move them into these camps and want to forget about them.
So then that's kind of where it needs to be fleshed out, because so what I picture in my head is people were gone for 5 years. They come back. So the people that have been here, all of you, get in a camp. The people that just came back, they got top priority. That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
I just can't see something operating like that.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, think about if you owned a home for however many years, you get snapped away, and then you come back and you find somebody else is living in your home. That's what the GRC was basically doing. They were taking and saying, okay, you didn't own this house to begin with. You need to move out. I don't care where you go, but you got to leave.
Well, they can have the house. I just want my shit.
Yeah. Right? That's my collection.
Yeah.
But it's like I know mentally what they were about, but they didn't flesh it out as somebody
Right.
just said to make me care.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's
I could
all I
see
can
that.
say. I can. That's a perfect thing to say, Craig, for me, because I didn't really care about their mission. I didn't care about their plight. I thought when I say it was unfinished, I didn't feel like they had fleshed it out. Like Frankie was saying, is that I didn't care enough that they would win this fight or not win this fight. I didn't care.
Right.
Because even with good storylines, you can relate to the protagonist and the antagonist.
Exactly. Exactly. And WandaVision was a good example of that, in my opinion, because Wanda was doing some bad shit.
Yes, yes.
But you could understand the pain behind what she was doing. I mean, I could feel her pain and wanting to keep that together with Vision and the family and all of that stuff. And then tying it together with the end in WandaVision where we saw the world coming back and all of that stuff that they had done was being erased, and she knew that was coming, and they were
That ain't me. That ain't me.
That ain't
Sorry.
me.
Dog side drop. Sorry.
Oh,
that's cool.
okay. And when they had that last moment together and they were saying goodbye to each other, man, I cared. I cared. I mean, I had watery eyes, I cared. But
So,
Wanda
yeah.
was doing some messed up stuff. She was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even who was the jerk in that? The military guy. The
Hayward.
Oh, yeah.
Hayward. I didn't like
Hayward. So we didn't like, but if you just look through his lens, you could see why he was doing what he was doing.
Exactly. Why he
Yeah.
was doing what he was doing.
him.
Exactly.
He's a dick.
Absolutely.
Was it-
even that, playing a good prick, playing
They did.
that
Right.
guy to that point
But
evokes feelings, and you feel some type of way
But
about it. You're
that's-
like, that's what
That's
I
a-
didn't get from these Flag
that's
Smashers.
something I could say about John Walker's character.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
played extremely well.
Yes.
He was the best character because you hated him, and then
You kinda felt for him.
he's in the locker room, and you
Yeah.
go sympathize. Oh, he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like back and forth, back and forth. There's
Yeah.
depth there. You're going,
I
what
liked
is
him.
this guy?
Is it
Zemo.
me? Is it me, or did anybody just feel that he completely wasted his time making that shield?
Oh yeah. That thing did look a little rubbery.
After it was done, and you just saw it sitting there. You wonder if he looked at it and he's like, "Yeah, clearly I would have never made it in middle class." Or
Yeah, so
You know,
he
it's just
definitely
like-
needs some welding lessons because that
Yeah.
shit looked bad.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right?
It fell apart quick.
It even looked like it had pop rivets.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Bad welding.
That was
bad
funny.
welding.
Hey, thinking about something though, how much are the Flag Smashers in the comics?
I
Was there
don't know
ever a
those characters.
storyline with them or anything?
I don't know.
Did
don't know
anybody
anything
that?
about these characters.
Because then
I
I'm
don't know
wondering,
anything.
with them doing this, are they relying a lot on people to know some of the story, and then that makes you relate to them? But I would think they would have to make them for people that don't read the comics or don't have any background to make you, like we're trying to do, is care about them to
Mhm.
develop the story.
Well,
Exactly.
I like that we got U.S. Agent.
Yep. you were
That-
saying
his suit looked good. It
Yeah,
looked cool.
I like-
the suit looked good. I hope they announce a hot toy.
A hot
for
toy.
him.
I knew that was coming.
I like Contessa, man. She was funny.
Everything's about.
Oh yeah, shit. Her character,
Yeah, she was great, man.
She was spot on.
Yeah, she only had those little bit
Yeah.
scenes, but I liked
Yeah.
it. It's-
He's like, John,
Yeah.
hurry up already. How long
So
is
good
it take to
acting.
paint?"
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
impact
yeah,
right there.
she's like,
I mean, you can
that's
act-
something I would have done, but maybe I
Yeah.
did, but maybe I didn't, but maybe I did. And I was like,
But she's an amazing actress, though. I mean,
Yeah,
she's a stellar actress.
Yeah, so-
I want to see her do a
but-
dance. I want to see her
But
do
Seth,
the
I have to ask you a
Elaine
question.
dance.
What's that?
Oh yeah, Seth, I got to ask you a question. Did you care about the Flag Smashers? Did you give a shit about their plight?
No, I don't think they were. It was significant enough to like I would like obviously we all watched the trailers and everything, and obviously we didn't know what we were getting. We did see Zemo though, and we were like, oh, and I'm sure most like everybody else when they were watching the trailer before the show, and they're like, oh, okay, Zemo's probably going to be the main antagonist of the of the show. I
was kind of hoping
he's going to be the bad guy, and
kind of was.
And he, well, no, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Close.
I don't think he was.
If anything, he was kind of like the gray area hero villain. He was in between.
I guess.
He was helping them.
With a great dancing.
Yeah, but he was
with a great dancing.
He was helping them trying to achieve their goal, but he was also trying to push his own agenda as well. And we got more backstory on Zemo that we didn't know. I didn't know he was a wealthy, like a wealthy.
Well, I knew in the comics he was.
Unless you read the comics, okay. I don't read comics.
Well, even in the cartoons, he's the Baron in the cartoons.
Okay, and I didn't watch the cartoons, so
okay.
Well,
whatever. Then you got a loss. I know, man. At least watch something.
So it's like when he was like, oh, he's like, I've got all this money, and and all of a sudden they were like, yeah, the jet and everything. I mean,
like
I love that character. Yeah,
like him.
Yeah, he was
one of my favorite characters.
I'm hoping that we see him again as the actual Baron Zemo villain, and that they do square off against him, because technically his work.
I like him in that gray line.
But
I like him in the gray line.
Yeah,
I like him
but technically, if you think about it, his work is not done. There's one super soldier left, and that's Bucky.
Yeah, but he won't kill him.
Why not? He said he was making it his life's missions to eradicate all the super soldiers.
All the super soldiers, but he even had a moment there with Bucky that he told him that he wouldn't do it.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
I think there was some kind of sympathy. Yeah, there was some kind of sympathy for him afterwards when they were on their plane talking about it with the book and everything.
Really, sympathy could have fooled me when he fucking blew up the rest of the Flag Smashers.
Well, that he don't care about them, and he has his points that he believes in, and he's gonna believe it all. That's why I was kind of hoping that he would have been the big bad. I thought, at least for this show anyway, would have been either him or or the Power Broker. In this case, Sharon Carter. I think that would have been a good twist there to have her be the guy that now Bucky and him have to deal with that, and Sam have to deal with.
Or they could have kept the storyline going with Batroc, because we got him in the beginning of the first We got him in the first episode. And that he could have gone on as the villain.
Nah, I mean, he's a good henchman, but I can't see him being the.
I like GSP.
No,
I just think he's a henchman.
Not the personality to carry a main villain.
No, and the voice either. Like when he comes off saying some things, it just was like, okay, I can't take you seriously.
Well, because he's French Canadian. Well, he's French Canadian. That's how he talks.
I can't take it, But I mean, I do agree with you guys. Well, one of the things I didn't like about it was that for all the buildup of Winter Soldier's, dealing with his issues, that they just glassed over the whole thing with the old man. With the old man, that went so fast.
Yeah,
when you said I needed more in that scene, I was watching. I went exactly.
Yeah.
So like you don't even know. So like what I got out of it was he doesn't want to talk to him now. He checked on him over at the bar, and he walked out. Like there was no acknowledgement. So like how that could have been done better was the old man looking over, seeing him in the window, and then just like kind of raise his glass to him or something, letting you know that hey, they're okay now.
Right.
Like he gave him a nod. Yeah, like he gave him
not
okay.
Let him know. Or not okay.
Or not okay. Just kind of look at him and then turn his head, like not acknowledging him.
Yeah,
and Bucky's going to have to live with that. You did the right thing by letting him know, but he's never going to forgive you.
Yeah. Have the old man say, "Get out of my room," and at least that gives you where are we at?
Where do you
instead of he puts his head down and Bucky walks out, and that's it.
Right, kind of like he drops a bomb on him.
But technically, the girl at the restaurant acknowledged him.
Yeah, but that's weird too.
That's a whole other story too, though. But
yeah, but he walked out on her. It's like what happened to her walking out there saying, "What the fuck happened, man? We were having a good day."
Maybe
I was about to give you some, and you just walked out on me.
Maybe he has a thing where he likes to walk out on Japanese people.
Kick your butt in Battleship.
It was those types of things that I just like. I keep saying it just seemed like it wasn't finished.
All that being said, man, I would really love to see another season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I enjoyed it too. Yeah, I agree.
So would I. So
So
is
over the
there
6
plans
episodes,
for another
what was your
season?
favorite part?
I don't know.
No.
I know they're talking about a Captain America 4 now, which would be
Okay.
Yeah, I saw.
or
I
Sam.
don't know if it was a
Yeah.
unsubstantiated rumor that they were going to do a movie with him.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what part we didn't touch on, which I kind of laughed at, where they were after like everything happened in New York, and then he landed, he did the superhero landing, and then the guy standing next to him, he's like, "Yo," he goes, "That's Black Falcon," and the other guy's like, "Nah, man, that's Captain America."
Don't matter. He's still black.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but he's just like, "Nah, man, that's Captain America," And then even Isaiah's grandson acknowledged him. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "What's up, Black Falcon?" He's like, "Yo," he's like, "You got to stop calling me that."
Yeah. Why do they call him Black Falcon? Was there ever a White Falcon?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't understand that why they call him Black Falcon. But all right.
So, Calvin, your opinion in those scenes? I thought it was a missed opportunity. I thought the perfect thing to do in that scene was to have the black man say, "That's Black Falcon," and I wish they had a white guy standing there to go, "No, that's Captain America."
Absolutely, yeah.
Missed opportunity right there.
Absolutely.
That entire crowd was black right there.
Yep.
What Seth just said, the son acknowledged him. Where outside of Bucky,
right?
Where was there's so much miss? All right,
so it sounds like what you're saying. We were still left with the same philosophy that America hadn't accepted the black.
Well, that's exactly the case, though. But that's even Falcon said that, or I don't know, Captain America. He accepted that when he was talking about it as a speech, that he's feeling the eyes on him and the judgment and all that. Yeah, I don't think that anything changed in the hearts of those people.
Well, that was, I think that part was more geared towards helping John Walker understand, because like he felt the pressure. You could see he felt the pressure, and then he was and then when Bucky said that, he felt like this release.
I don't think that's what the case was.
I think so. He felt that release of all that stress of him carrying that burden, and he realized that, like I said, he didn't have to be perfect.
So Calvin, I want to run this by you, because I've seen a few things on Facebook, like whenever we haven't covered these because we hadn't done the last couple of weeks. John Walker scene with the bloody shield that comes up. There's an entire thing, Marvel Cinematic Universe group there, and it's him standing there with that bloody shield, and person after person after person after person that's the real America right there. That's the picture of America. The Captain, Chris Evans, Captain America is a bunch of garbage. That's the real thing there. So you're ex-military, right? Yeah, because you told me you were at Keesler or whatever. So we take that scene, I'm starting to go, okay, what are we doing with the show? Are we going to fan flames of current situations, or are we going to do something productive with it? And we kind of got where I was hoping we were going with it, but not exactly. So then you fast forward to last week's episode, and you have the exchange with Isaiah and Sam sitting there, and he says, no self-respecting black person would want that shield or whatever, pick up that shield or whatever. And so that was thrown up on the thing, and they're like, yeah, nobody would want to be Captain America or whatever. And I'm like, now hold on, y'all are watching this show because you want to see Sam become Captain America. So it's one or the other, it can't be both. Now I understand there's a lot to say gray is the way short sell this, but I was trying to say, what is me being a white guy, I'm asking the black participants in this thread, what's the win here? If, we're wanting to see, everybody's wanting to see that's watching the show is wanting to see Sam take on that mantle. But yet you're saying, so either Isaiah, I understand Isaiah, why he says what he says, that he's bitter, he's been done beyond wrong. So I understand why he said what he said. But for real people to say, yeah, that's the way, it's like, well, when he picks up the shield next week, you're going to cheer that. Okay, so So fast forward to the end of it, and what I said in this thing, Sam actually said, yes. What I hope we were getting out of this series was, yes, America has done horrible things. Yes, there's Tuskegee incident. Yes, yes. But is it work? Do we burn it down, or do we try to be better? And Sam said, we can all do better. In the midst of his speech, it just didn't quite deliver that wallop. But
Right.
would you please take all that and run with it?
That's a lot. I don't even have a lot to say about it, but that makes my point about me feeling like if you're going to take on such a big story with so many hot button issues, I think it's worth extending it to some type of discussion where you can have somebody not take a side, but understand it better. But I just thought that if you're going to take on those issues like you were talking about, you just can't just come to a brick wall and not continue to talk about it.
Right.
And that's what my frustration with it was, because when we had the first episode, another person that I listened to a lot in his podcast, I think he's done a fantastic job on his podcast, and this is Milton Manimal. He has a podcast that I listen to, and he said, which I didn't agree with him, he said that nobody they were the only people that talked about the racial issue and what happened in the second scene, the second episode, I think it was, when the cop stopped him and all that, which wasn't true because we talked about it here on this show. But he was upset that we probably should stop putting those types of things in movies, and we shouldn't address it because all it does is polarize us more and make us take sides and get into our own camps, and then all this political stuff. We watch these movies just to enjoy them. So having all that stuff in it, he wasn't on board with it. And I have the opposite opinion of that, and that art imitates life. Or life imitates art, or however you want to do that. And a lot of times in history, whether it be through literature or through comics or through whatever, the things that are happening in our culture are usually expressed that way. And since Marvel decided to bring that into the conversation, I thought they had a responsibility, in my opinion, to somehow tell the story more completely. If that makes sense to you guys. So if you're going to bring up Isaiah and you're going to bring up, what they did to him and all of these types of things, I just spend a little bit more time telling the story so that people, like you were saying, could understand it better, and not being these groups with these camps and going, yeah, this or that. At least they would have more information and more of the story to contemplate. And this, it just seemed like it was rushed. It was a big story. We could have made it a lighthearted type thing and do action and do the James Bond thing and all that, or whatever you wanted to do, or we can take on this social issue. But it just didn't seem like they were fair in the storytelling of such a big issue. Right. So I don't know the answer to your question about which one is it. I don't even think that's the answer that I don't even think I could answer that. But I can say that the story was so big with so many underlining and underpinning issues, especially in the current environment that we are in. I think there was a responsibility to try and at least tell a bigger story, and not
when I said which one is it, I didn't mean one's right and one's wrong.
Correct.
Right.
I got it.
Okay. I hope.
I got that. No, I totally got it.
Okay.
No, I got that part. That it wasn't about which one was right or wrong.
Much like WandaVision stayed so single track. This should have been a single track for Isaiah and Sam. Focus there. Don't get muddled up in all this other garbage. Not garbage,
exactly. Absolutely.
But okay. Somebody that's been wronged and somebody that's an ideal. To be able to bang heads together. And I didn't see that character arc of Isaiah going, oh, okay, the young guy's got a point. Is this worth fighting for? Do I have a responsibility for everybody that's been wrong to pick up the shield and say, damn it, today I'm going to be better, and we're going to be better as a nation?
I thought missed opportunity with Isaiah. I absolutely thought that the Isaiah storyline would be more prominent, and there would be a build up to something where there was this redemption moment. And yes, there was some of that, like when they went to the museum and all of that. but I didn't think the show earned that moment.
Right.
Getting to that point, I didn't think they earned that moment. Like, wow, this feels right, you know. So that was my take, and I know that's a whole lot of stuff that I said. I'm sorry, but
No.
it's fine. That's good.
Bravo.
But that's what we need, right? Because I mean, some stories or some issues are not going to get. You need a different avenue. So there's something somebody out there may want to talk about. I don't really have an interest in it, but I do love these movies. It's a good format to bring it up if you do it right, because now you'll bring up the issue and I'm going to listen because I like these characters.
Right.
exactly. Now, keep in mind, we're going into this already one-sided. So I know you were talking about not taking one side or the other, but when we're talking about a movie that's based in the lore of Captain America and his a legacy, we're definitely going to get to a certain point, because otherwise it wouldn't be Captain America.
Right.
So that's why I thought the story should also have been fleshed out more, because we knew where this was going. I think we would have been very disappointed if they had turned this into some dark, movie, because that's not who Captain America is. There has to be some authenticity to the comics and his the heart of that storytelling from back from the World War II or whatever up until now. I mean, he's had a certain lore behind him, and then you've got someone else, a black man, taking up that mantle, and I think his responsibilities are compounded because of that. And I just think, again, missed opportunity. And I thought your thing about having that crowd and then that one white guy say, or that white person say, no, he's Captain America. That I think that would have been an amazing scene, in my opinion.
Yeah.
An outstanding scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel, if you're listening, we'll write some stories for you.
About all of that.
So over the 6 episodes, what was your one favorite part out of it?
6 episodes.
Mine probably was the speech with Bucky and Sam in the 5th episode, where Bucky had transitioned to being ready to move forward with his demons.
Craig?
Oh, mercy, I can't top that one. Yeah, I think that was the most connected moment. I love that. All we've been talking about. Yeah. Everything else here were like connections that were almost made, and that was a connected moment. So I felt that.
I love that word.
So,
yeah.
George?
I'm thinking. Best scene or what? I think about it. My favorite moment of the whole thing, the most shocking moment, is like when U.S. Agent killed that guy. That was the shocking moment for me. I saw it coming. I could relate to that moment. You killed his best friend, and he went on in rage. That's why you can't give me super serum, because if somebody kills one of you guys, I'm going to kill you with a shield.
Yeah. That was shocking.
Yeah. No, it was very shocking. And it also, to me, it was like, it's not Disney Marvel, right? Nothing like that has been shown in Disney before. So to me, I was like, wow, this is very powerful.
To another scene about that, George, what did you think about the commentary of when the camera pans around in that panorama and you see all the people videotaping it? It's just such a commentary on current times.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't do anything without people watching.
Yep. Seth?
Well, if my best friend for 10 plus years knows me as well as he thinks he does, what am I going to say, George? What was my favorite part?
I don't know why you got to put me on the spot like that.
Because we joke about this type of stuff all the time.
And minus 10 points in the newlywed.
I know, right? I'm saying he got to put me on the spot. It's 11 o'clock at night. Just answer the question.
So my favorite part was the training montage.
On the training montage,
with
the shield,
with Sam.
You and Sam Captain Puerto Rico.
When Sam was training, I was getting so excited because I was like, all right, this is the moment. This is what we're waiting. This is what we waited for, was for him to get the shield back and take the mantle and do it right. Because again, Steve just didn't give it to him for any plain reason. He gave it to him because he knew he was the best person for the job. And you know, when he started training and all that stuff, like I was excited because you know me, I love a good training montage. So that's my you know, that's my thing. So it's like I only wish that they would have used the music from the Karate Kid. This is the best. You know, like I wish they would have used that, and like, you know, obviously like and it's funny too because it's like you saw during the training montage that he was practicing all like the flips and the tumbles and everything, and you saw that when he was when he was in the new suit and he was fighting. So it's like, yeah, I just didn't practice all those flips and shit just for nothing. Practical use.
The crane.
The crane.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like the training montage. That was that was like my favorite moment because again, like I said, I love a good training montage. So
True.
Cool.
Frankie.
Well, after all y'all's, mine's so shallow. Mine was seeing the Princess Bar sign.
Ah, yeah, dude. I really did like seeing.
Wolverine owns.
Yeah, I
He owns
agree.
that. I'm like, yes.
Seeing Madripoor on camera
man.
was great. To me, was like probably one of the most like I was hopeful at that moment.
Yep.
You know, it's like X-Men. We're gonna get X-Men.
I know you're just
You know?
sitting there. You're scanning that whole crowd,
Yeah.
and just like, am I gonna see somebody?
Yeah,
Even just like the back of his head, because they could do that even without casting somebody.
exactly. Let's give a good haircut.
But seeing that sign, I was like, oh yes,
Yeah, true.
nothing deep like all that. It's too deep for 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock.
Maybe Marvel's gonna watch all of these different people's reviews and says, "Well, we need to do another season, another 6
Yes.
episodes,
I
We need
definitely
to-
want to see
yeah.
another one.
solidify
another
some of these
6
relationships." And
we need another 6 episodes and more training montage.
More training.
I'd love to see another. I think there's so much more to do.
There
Yep,
has to
they
be
could.
because like they ended off with this guy becoming U.S. agent. I want to know where the hell that's going. Yeah, I need to know more
And then
about
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. I want to know more where the hell she's going.
Yeah.
I want to know who that woman is, more of her Contessa or whatever
Yeah.
Julia Dreyfus'
Yeah.
character. I want to know what that's all about.
She needs to be definitely in more Marvel stuff because
Yes.
she was a good character.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
cool. You know, I want to know
Absolutely.
when Zemo's coming back, is because that dude was awesome. You
Because
know,
like if she's
so-
working for Shield, I want to see her and Samuel Jackson acting to each other.
Oh,
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
That would be
it.
great.
What was it? Was it me? Was it you? Was it me? Shut the fuck up, motherfucker!
And so, in timelines, I asked this before? Where is Wanda happening at the same time as this
No,
happening?
this takes place 6 months after the events of Wanda,
WandaVision.
from what I understand.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And then we got Loki coming.
Then we got Loki. I can't wait for
Yeah,
Loki.
don't worry. That's going to mess up all the timelines for everything. So.
Everything, right?
Dude, that looks like
Well,
it's
at
going to be
least
so much
he has
fun.
gonna be
reason.
great.
He can
It looks
hop
like it's going to be
around
so
and-
much fun.
Yeah.
You know? Tom Hiddleston, right? That's the guy's
I
name?
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, he's
man.
awesome.
He is awesome. Dude.
So when does
that'd
it
be
premiere?
In a week. Not this week, but the week after. So,
And do you
then-
think Sam was talking about him in that speech? You have the power of an insane God.
it could have been...
I thought he was talking
No,
about
he was
Thanos.
talking
I think it was talking about Thanos. I think that's
Thanos.
who he was talking
Thanos.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but
that
Thanos
makes
really
more
was.
sense.
Yeah, but Thanos really wasn't a god.
Yeah, but he's kind of referring to, but he's
But
using
that's what he
something to
wanted
refer
to
back
be.
to.
Yeah.
Because he was
Yeah.
talking about doing away with half the population.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Was the context.
We get the meaning behind what Thanos was doing, but people would see him as just trying to be some kind of god.
True. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. That was a great talk, guys. I love
Yeah.
this, man. I can't wait for another TV show to pop up so we can all just sit here and bullshit for another hour. This is awesome.
Listen, we need to,
Have you guys watched Mortal Kombat?
Yes,
No,
I
did.
watched it. I watched
Did
it
you?
this afternoon.
I
What did
did.
you guys think? Quick.
It was all right.
It was all right?
It was all
I
right.
haven't seen it yet.
Frankie, was it
Haven't
worse
seen
than,
it.
better or worse
Show
than the
up?
original?
The Spawn show.
So it's the same.
It's the same. Okay. I can
It's
deal
the
with it.
same.
I wouldn't say it was. I wouldn't say it was like. Oh
I'm
my
glad
god!
it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Okay.
like, oh my god, it wasn't amazing, but I feel
Yeah.
that it was better than the processors or the
There's,
predecessors.
I mean, what are you gonna? So it's like, what are you gonna do with that kind of a video game, right? There's not much of
Yeah.
a story there, so there's
Yeah.
not really anything you can like flesh out. And
But the
Yeah,
fight
but
scenes
other
were
than that,
really
the
good.
fight scenes
the
were
fight scenes were
badass.
amazing. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I gotta watch it. Probably go watch that after I get done editing
But
this.
I hope they do a
my
second
God.
season. I hope they do a second season, and then we can title this show "The Falcone and the Winter Soldier."
The Falcone.
Frankie Falcone and the Winter Soldier.
Always great talking to you guys, man.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. This was a great show.
Always great.
Or Filoni. Frankie Filoni and the Winter Soldier.
All right, guys. So
These talks would be so much better in a bar.
yes,
Tell me about it.
I agree.
Tell me about
but we need to find like a quiet spot to be able to do it so they can hear us talk while we're having our beers and chilling.
it.
You know, not like the arcade that we were at that one time that I couldn't hear myself.
I was
Well,
doing
when you guys get your own building,
And me and
Be
Calvin
able to
may
do it.
fade by the end of the show.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us for this review of the final episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We'll be back next week with something else. We'll try to figure out what it's going to be. Maybe we'll finally get to review Mortal Kombat, but we'll definitely be back the week after for the first episode of Loki. So thanks again, guys. Let us know in the comments what your favorite part of the show was, what you thought of the show. You know, we're always interested to hear what you guys think.
Are
And
we
until
full of
next time,
shit?
guys.
No.
Yeah, maybe that. Until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.
Keep it marvelous.